Hi everybody, welcome to the live stream. Welcome back to the channel. Hello, and hello to everyone who is patiently waiting. So happy to see you, Beanie Girl, and Kupak, and Christian Bale, of course. Confessions. I was gonna hide from the camera today. Instead, I'm just gonna let it get dark. Dark like my soul. Because I'm super broke out. And a little bit of update on what I've been up to this week. What haven't I been up to this week is the better question. I helped prepare the cemetery this week for Veterans Day the other day. So I got covered in dirt. It was fucked up. I laid my finger open, not this one, like the last time, this one, on a staple on a bag of grass seed. Then I filleted my wrist. I got my ass kicked this week, and all the dust and dirt blowing up in my face. I broke out all over the place. I bashed myself in the mouth. That's pizza sauce. Okay, because I just got done eating some pizza. I bashed myself in the fucking face with a rake, right in the mouth, dude. And I was insecure about that. And I was feeling all kinds of way, and I was like, I was just gonna hide from the camera. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I looked in the little camera thing here and did a little peep before I decided to go live and was like, you know what, fuck it, it doesn't look that bad, I'm fine. Who hasn't popped themselves in the face with a tool? No, really, who hasn't? That's a real question. So, let's get into this. I have a whole shit ton of stuff to cover. Tons and tons of emails, tons of content. I'd like to start out by thanking IHD for his very warm and lovely shout out that he gave me earlier about my, you haven't? I don't believe you. Nothing? Never hit yourself with any kind of kitchen utensil, a rake, a shovel, or maybe accidentally run a grinder through your finger, or I think of some other stuff I can list off that I've done. Got hit in the face with a fence and scarred yourself tremendously bad. Look how swollen my lip is, for real though. I mean, I fucked it up. And fuck these Hollywood empowering women. Ashley is the real tough woman here, tougher than some young men these days. That is true, actually. I'm constantly telling people that. Thank you. So, yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll just get over it. But I'm really, really fucking broke out. And it's just feeling shitty the past couple days. And then I've got work and more work. And as Beanie and I were talking about yesterday and today, we have long weeks coming up. So I've got some great comedy to end the channel on today. I find both the stories that I found very funny, okay? One of them is gross funny, and the other one's just fucking funny. We're going to take it back, people, and try to get on these emails at the very tip of the iceberg. Dear God, that is a lot of scrolling. Fuck. No, yeah, I was thinking of all the things I've hurt myself on. I have, if it's an object, I've hurt myself on it. If it's a critter, it has kicked my ass at some point. I've kicked its ass. I've had my ass kicked by my kid. Hello, Gling, good to see you. I have had my ass handed to me by many things, and this week it was a staple and a rake and dust clouds. I also helped clean up a workshop this week. And that was something. It was full of black widows and just nonstop dust. And then the weekend right before this week started, I did that painting job. Let me show you guys what I looked like because it's very funny. And it was a fucking mess. And don't I look happy? I was pulling paint out of my eyes for a freaking week. It just wouldn't stop. Yeah, I have a lot of experience with things. That's one way of putting it. Hey, Annabelle, good to see you. So we're gonna hop into some stories here. Okay, this is let's see. We covered that one. It's this other one I was meaning to cover. Let me get in here and figure this bitch out. Ah, yes. Here it is. Let's do this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, let me catch up here with myself because I have my moments. We covered that one. Hey, that's a good thing because I have way too many stories to cover. All right. Here's some shit we're going to tear apart because it's fucking stupid. And you guys love to send me stupid ass articles and hear me tear them apart. It's part of my demented sense of humor and just the way I deal with things. Let me check my volume and do all this. And everybody's hearing me, obviously, because you've been answering me. Straight to the doghouse. Study reveals the best and worst behaved dog breeds. Where does your pup rank? Well, I don't have one, so you can kiss my ass, but we're going to talk about how fucking stupid this is. And the first picture they show is a fucking Labrador Retriever. And you guys have heard me talk about this and how much I hate these fucking things. I hate the yellow ones. I hate the child. Then they go into a Rottweiler. Then they show a Rhodesian Ridgeback. Just the worst fucking dogs, okay? So this article is actually published November 3rd. All right. So a study that was conducted by a pet insurance company, Protect My Paws, unveiled the best behaved and worst behaved dogs, calculating its ranking based on Instagram hashtags, okay? I'm going to skip through some of this shit. So they claim that the Spitz is an affectionate dog. Okay? For anybody who doesn't know, these things are fucking assholes. They're annoying as shit. They're a smaller to medium-sized dog. The Spitz. Stupid fucking piece of shit. I hate these fucking things. Okay? And they say here, other key findings had shown that South Africa is home to the naughtiest dogs, with 88% of Instagram posts about dogs being negative. This is going to lead into another article that I looked up. Okay? And since I bashed myself in the mouth, it keeps bleeding. It's not right now. Just a warning. If you see me messing around and going and grabbing the tissue, you'll know. That's what happens when you bash yourself in the face. All right? In the U.S., 47 of 50 states show people believing their dogs to be well-trained. Surprise. But there were some outliers. Kansas and North Carolina, in which states the residents had given their pooches poor reviews, below the 50th percentile. Okay, so like I said, this is going to lead into another article. I was talking to Zoe the other day on the phone, and we were talking about how you just never escape these things. They're everywhere, and that inclined me to look up what states in the United States had the most and least amount of dogs, and I'm going to share it with you. So, in reality, what they're showing here is that Japanese Spitz that people were trying to claim was so cuddly and wonderful actually got 86.67% naughty posts, like people saying they suck ass. The Shishan, the Moody, the Cockapoo, the wire-haired Vizsla, the Chug, okay, the Poochon, the Welsh Terrier, and the Keeshon. Now, I can't help but notice that a few of these dogs that are listed off of being particularly shitty are mixed breed dogs that never should have existed in the first place, like the Chug. And for those of you who don't know, that is a Chihuahua mixed with a pug. Because if you like really fucking annoying, stupid, yapping dogs, and dogs with brachycephalic faces that can't breathe and get too worked up and die of a heart attack, put them together. Let's make a dog out of it. Fuck me running, right? These people are fucking demented, okay? And yet they'll sit there and talk about how much they love the damn things. And it just blows me away how much these people adore and worship these damn things. What's up, Orc Wrench? I had just thought about you as I was just saying this last thing that I was saying. I thought, you know what? Orc Wrench would totally agree with me. I wonder if she's here. And bam, there you were. So ask and you shall receive. All right. So speaking of which, I'm going to take that right into this other article that I wanted to talk to you guys about, okay? This is the U.S. states with the most and fewest pet owners, okay? And that's the two of them being so heavily related, I kind of wanted to bring them together in this same discussion, okay? According to Ownership and Demographic Sourcebook by the American Veterinary Medical Association, the state of Arkansas has the highest percentage of households that own a dog. And Vermont is the highest that own cats, okay? So just, some information for you. States that own the fewest dogs and cats are also named down here. The study was conducted in 2012, all right? But it was based on numbers from 2011. and drawn from a survey of more than 50,000 households in the U.S. Okay? So, they do pets, cats, dogs. So we're just going to focus on dogs because guess what, people? This is a dog hating channel, a dog information channel. This is about informing people about dog attacks. As I pointed out before, I'm almost like the dog hating news. I collect articles myself. I get them from you guys and I share them and keep you guys up to date on some of the newer and older stories and updates. So, states with the most dog owners. So for people like us, places to avoid, right? Arkansas with almost 50% of homeowners having a dog. New Mexico at 46%. Kentucky at 45.9. Missouri at 45.9. West Virginia at 45.8. Mississippi at 45.2. Alabama at 44.1. Tennessee 44.1. Texas at 44%. And Oklahoma at 43.2%. I would like to think in Texas, I might have brought that down a percentage. All right, here's something we really want to know. States with the fewest dog owners. Anybody want to guess? A state that has the fewest dog owners in the country. I'm going to wait before I answer. I want to see the weather girl. I want to see your guys' guesses. What state in the U.S. do you guys guess has the fewest dog owners? I was shocked, actually, when I seen it. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer before I go back into this. Just guess. Just guess. Wyoming is a good guess. Oh, Gling, it is Illinois. It is Illinois. Gling, okay? She got this. Number one is Illinois with only 32.4% of households owning dogs. And tying with that is New Jersey at 32.4, Minnesota at 31.9, Maryland at 30.8, New Hampshire at 30.3, Utah at 29.4, okay? Rhode Island, all right? New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Okay, so this is percentage of households that didn't own a dog. Okay, so I said that backwards in the beginning. I don't mean to be confusing. So yeah, very interesting stuff. The article is really just made for percentages. They don't go into much more. I know. Well, there's tons of mutts everywhere, right? You're not going to escape them. I honestly thought it was going to be other states. Like Isabel said, Wyoming. I thought Wyoming would be on that list. It wasn't on either list. I thought Alaska might fall into one of these lists, only because it's hard to keep a pet, but then you think about like sled dogs and all this shit, and then like, you know, hunting and bear and all that. Imagine the explosion in dog numbers since and that's another thing. So these numbers are from 2011 and published in 2012. So we don't know exactly what that would look like at this point, right? But wild shit. So let's get back into our stories. As I am your dog weather girl. Excuse me. Oh boy. Moni Tony sent this to me. Hi, Shamina. Good to see you. I have a story from you as well. So I try to call you guys all out as I start and then call you out individually. I totally fuck that up sometimes, so I'm going to go ahead and start it. Shamina sent me something. Let's see. Christian, of course. Gling. Some people from the Facebook group, and a lot of the stuff I found myself. We've got some stories from Alasade, from Moni, from some private and anonymous emailers, okay? And to the one person that donated, I hadn't been getting like any donations, and got, I think, well over a month, which is not why I'm here, okay? But I seen in my emails, it was like, oh, someone sent you money, and I'm like, huh? And I went and looked, and I was like, oh. So, to Salah, I appreciate you very much. That was a very sweet surprise for me to see this morning. So, from Monet. All right. He says, about my theory about unreported statistics. Okay. So this is from an anonymous person posting on the internet. Okay. Said they're not letting them go outside because they're afraid of child services. This person says, I have a small dog and a small boy. My dog is the sweetest little thing ever. And after having her around my son until he was 8 months old, I thought everything was going great. Then one day, as I was cleaning up a spill near my son, my dog bit him on the face. I would kill that motherfucker. Okay? Like, just like that. He had started to scoot around a little bit, and it turns out he had cornered her and probably grabbed her in a way she didn't like. I wasn't watching, so I'm not completely sure what happened, but I certainly heard my son screaming and crying. My husband was fucking livid. He told me he wouldn't be surprised if CPS came to our home. My son literally had teeth marks on his face and one tooth gouging him in deeper than what I thought could be considered a scrape. My husband did not mince words when he told me that our son would likely have a scar on his face for life and that I would have to explain it to him when he was older. I felt horrible. I've never felt worse about anything in my life. My perfect sweet little boy had a bite on his adorable chubby cheeks. I didn't want to take him out of the house or to the grocery store or park. There may as well have been a "mommy is shit" sign on my son's forehead. I'm just grateful his eye or ear wasn't mauled. So please learn from my mistake and do not leave your baby alone with any dog. I was hoping, and I read this prior to covering this. I was hoping when I first read this, okay, that, yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you. And even if so, IHD has said this, and I'm going to mimic what he says. If these things are so well adjusted to us, if these are our best friends, these are the things that we're also obsessed about and spend billions of dollars a year on, fight to save them. We'll even throw our own parents under the fucking bus. We victim blame, like Ling said. Don't have a dog around your children, period. Stop having them in our fucking neighborhood. I took Annabelle's advice and put a decibel meter on my phone. They have a couple free ones too. And I started using it last night. I couldn't believe, first of all, how loud my chewing was. Seriously. And I couldn't believe how loud my fucking neighbor's dogs are. Okay? Now, I'm going to back this story up with a story about my sister. As you guys know, she used to be a dog lover and then became a dog hater recently. And I think what really pushed her over the edge was she had her second child, and the baby was only like 4 months old. And she calls me and tells me this story. She says her ex-boyfriend's dog, which is a cattle dog mix, jumped out my chewing. My chewing was at like 64 decibels. The neighbor's dog's barks were over 70 and over. So yeah. The dog jumped out and lunged at the baby and was this close to biting it when my sister reached over and grabbed it by the tail and flung it like this around the room. She smashed the dog with the fireplace, with the brick fireplace, just like straight into it. And then she picked up a brick from the fireplace, because they have 2 or 3 like masonry bricks, and bashed that fucking thing in the face until it was stone cold dead. And I was the first person she called to tell about it, of course. And I said, good for you. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to protect your child. And she was like, man, it's all fucked up in here. I got the steam cleaner out. It's like a fucking murder scene. I was like, well, it low key is, protect your child, and it was shortly after that she started becoming far more careful and making some comments here and there about hating dogs. And it's, for most people, it starts out slow. Okay. So she started out hating his dogs, right? And then it kind of spread to other dogs. And for a while, it was like her dogs were okay. She was never that kind of person that like treated them like kids. So that was good. And then it just kind of progressed past that to where she was just like, fuck all of them, fuck dogs. I hate these fucking things. Like I said, I was on the phone with her the other day when I was walking, and 2 dogs came running up at the fence barking at me, and she's in my earphone, what the fuck is that? And I was like, it's my neighbor's stupid fucking dogs. And she's like, fuck those things. I hate those fucking things. I'm like, I love you too, Deanna. Okay, so this is an article that Moni sent, okay? So am I. And no more of the dog sitting stuff either. I'm so happy about that. Here is an article that Moni sent to back up the story that he was talking about, okay? All right, so this came from Quora, and I have another story from them. It's one of our comedy stories. People say never leave a child and a dog alone in a room together, but this is virtually impossible in practice. What are the risks of doing this? This woman answers, as a mother, grandmother, and lifelong dog owner, I have never left any of my children or anyone else's alone in a room with my dogs until they were at least 8 years old. And I had done a lot of teaching about proper handling of animals and behavior around them, because we all know you have to change everything you do to facilitate the dog's wants and needs. Fuck that. The risks are that a child could cause the animal pain by grabbing its tail or eyes or snout or a foot and squeezing. The animal would bite them in self-defense. Children have suffered permanent damage from attacks like these. Children do not know how to stay out of the dog's face or not touch its genitalia or anal openings. Girl, what kind of kids you got? I've seen some serious facial injuries in children 10 to 11 years old by dogs that lived in the homes with them. It is not at all impossible to keep them separated when you are not there. Just take one or the other with you anytime you leave the room and close the door. You know? Someone else comments, depending on the age of the child and size of the dog, the risks range ultimately from your child being bitten, mauled, or killed. The probability this happens depends on the behavior of the child and the temperament of the dog. Is normally quite low, as most dogs are quite tolerant, especially of children. Most children are also taught what to do when handling dogs. But still, children are prone to having poor judgment. It is part of their growing up to do dangerous things and test boundaries. A century ago, this was normal, and parents expected a loose child now and again. Nowadays, we consider this something to avoid at all costs. We have less children and protect them at all costs. Bear in mind, your dog is actually a wolf and a collar. There are some differences. Dogs are more apt in understanding humans and tolerating their inconsistent behavior. No, wolves are, but are also bred to be more aggressive than wolves. Yeah. Yes, your pet dog, the one that looks at you adoringly, is a dangerous predator, and you have to keep this in mind at all times. And then she goes on and on and on and on. This person says, if you leave a dog in a room alone with a child and something happens to the child because it's been injured by the dog, not only may something happen to the dog, but also you might be charged with child neglect. Unless you live in a place that's only one room, there's no necessary reason that people investigating not to have you charged with neglect. If there is even a bathroom with a door that will close securely, in the eyes of many people, you would be guilty of neglect. If you close that door because leaving the child and pet alone together is avoidable, you have to go to the bathroom yourself. You shouldn't close the bathroom door if it means the child and the pet are thus alone. We all know about the giant jerk-off fest that is Quora. The risk is obvious. Okay? Let's see what else was in this article. And here's more parts from this Quora that goes with this article. It makes sense. Dog nutters will hide bites until they can. Until they can means until a tragedy happens. I was shocked about how kids are forced and blamed to learn how to professionally interact with a dog. Even small toddlers are blamed for not knowing a dog should not be disturbed while eating. The 6-month-old is to blame. What? Parents get a dog and it bites the kid constantly. The kid complains all the time, and the parent says you must learn to be around the dog. Don't run around it. Give it food with wide open palms, fingers looking down. Don't make loud pitching noises. Don't laugh loudly. Don't have too much fun around it. It hates high-pitched noises of a child's laughter. From now on, you are not a kid. You are a dog trainer. Literally, a parent took a hunting breed and he told the kid, you must learn how to deal with it. It is a hunting breed. Learn how to treat it, train it, teach it. It will take a lot of time and effort, but you must do it. Take time from homework and playing to give it training to this dangerous hunting breed. The kid says, but I wanted a small, tiny dog. I don't want a hunting breed. Father, deal with it or it will keep biting you and you are to blame. You deserve to be bitten. Shame on you. There was a lot of shaming for that kid. It's from a Russian dog training video. There's a lot of dog training videos in English too, and I'm sure it's the same way. I don't watch them because I hate dogs. I don't want to watch half-an-hour TV shows about dogs. Thank you, Moni. Hey, Word, good to see you. Here is an article from Alasade. Oh, so they sent me a video of the dog barking nonstop outside of their house, okay? And they said, hi, Ashley. I hope you're doing fine. One of the reasons I advocate for the elimination of all dogs is the fact that they produce nerve-wracking and unnecessary noise. My neighborhood is full of mutts. There's a mutt or two in almost every neighborhood. are in almost every household. The neighborhood mutts have a habit of random and sporadic barking. Throughout the day and for no apparent reason, one or some of these mutts start a random barking session, which can last a few minutes to an hour. Sometimes a mutt starts barking, and this will encourage the mutt next door or across the road to enter a barking frenzy or barking symphony. This has caused me a great deal of discomfort and inconvenience. But nobody in the neighborhood seems to be bothered with the noise pollution, and a few attempts to convince some of the neighbors to keep their mutts indoors and prevent them from barking was unsuccessful. Here's an example of a barking session of my neighbor's Fluffy. Hopefully, you'll be able to open the file. I thank you from the bottom of my dog-hating heart, Alisade. Okay, so thank you. I listened to the video. It was fucking crazy. Okay, yes, Isabel. We just need to get some more subscribers, and we're doing it though. It's going down. I've noticed like we'll get up so many, and then it'll just kind of lay for a while, and then bam, you get a bunch of people, and then it just kind of chills. And I'm not in a rush. I'm just here to share awareness, and kind of the same as when I found, hey, Queen Cat, when I found IHD, I went back and like watched all his old videos. I get a lot of people that do that. That's fantastic. Okay. Okay, let's move on to this one. This also came from Moni. In Spain, there's currently a company that blockades people inside their homes. These people are occupying unoccupied living properties and live there without the consent of the owner. The legal system is a bit tricky. It does not allow forced evacuations. So this company puts dogs outside 24/7, and the dogs don't allow for people to enter the property because they're weapons. It is a medieval blockade. At some point, the illegal occupant would leave the property to buy food or medicine or for whatever reason. After that, the dogs will prevent him from getting near the property. They are allowed to leave. After that, would not be allowed to re-enter by using the dogs on them as weapons. Okay, and so they put up the company. I think there are more companies that use dogs for the same manner. Could not find videos of violence from the part of the dogs. Obviously, they've suppressed it. Okay, hi, Slime. Obviously, such images, even if they exist, are censored to not damage the puppy, cutie, babysitting reputation of dogs. I tried to Google about dogs used for cell extraction, but I'm blocked from Europe from most of the sites and cannot access these USA sites from Europe. Okay, but it could open this site. Obviously, a dog is more of a deterrent than a taser gun. You get more damage from a dog bite. I think it's right up there with high-impact weapons. The dog is trained to bite whatever part of the prisoner it can grasp first. According to an Iowa corrections office official, excuse me, the dogs are taught to take a deep, full mouth bite. The dog opens his mouth real wide and gets as much as he can, whether it's a thigh or whatever, in his mouth. And we know that. They'll even put the genitals in their mouth, okay? What are these people trying to prove? And prove to whom? These people will kill kids. They have blood on their hands. And so they show in this video a child walking a Canine corso around, and the child's got to be like 7 years old, okay? Whew. There is an alpha owner who is at the side of the dog constantly. This child is not left alone. The alpha is there, but he is not shown in the video. It is not explained why the dog is not eating the kid, because the alpha is present, probably the trainer of the dogs. People see propaganda such as this, and they think they can get a bloodhound to babysit their children at home. No, this is not how it works. Such type of propaganda kills children. They should have a big warning in the beginning and the end of the video. Don't try this at home, as this was made by professionals. He said, don't neuter the dogs. Their balls give you something to attack if you need to protect yourself. Oh. All right. And here's another part of the article that was sent. The use of dogs for cell extractions in U.S. prisons. How dogs are used in cell extractions policy and practice in 7 states. Arizona, Connecticut, Delaware, Iowa, Massachusetts, South Dakota, Utah. Okay. And a dog is, okay, so that's the beginning. One of the iconic pictures from Abu Ghraib, shows an unmuzzled German Shepherd straining at his leash a few inches in front of a detainee who is crouched in terror. 2 Army sergeants have been convicted in courts, marshaled, excuse me, my language today, of using their dogs to harass, threaten, and assault detainees. Yet 5 U.S. state prison systems, those of Connecticut, Delaware, Iowa, South Dakota, and Utah, and Arizona, of course, continue to authorize the use of large unmuzzled dogs to terrify and even attack prisoners to secure their compliance with orders to permit themselves to be handcuffed and removed from their cells. While the prisoner tries to fend off the dogs, officers move in, take hold of him, apply restraints, and then remove him from his cell. The use of dogs to threaten and attack prisoners to facilitate cell extraction has been a well-kept secret, even in the world of corrections. Human Rights Watch has spoken with more than 24 current and former correctional officers who had no idea that dogs were authorized, much less ever used for this purpose. And 3 of 5 of the states that authorize the use of dogs in cell extractions, the policies appear to be used rarely, if at all. In Connecticut, 20 cases in 2005, and Iowa, 63 cases in 2005, use of dogs for this purpose is far more common. Okay? And so let me see. The dogs are used for cell extractions are typically German Shepherds or Belgian Malinois. Okay? The dogs are usually imported from Europe and undergo preliminary training with breeders or those that are selling the dogs. The prison handlers continue the training using decoys to train the dog in apprehension, biting on command, releasing on command. And usually the dog will live with the primary handler. Okay? When they enter the cell block in connection with the cell extraction, the dog barks loudly and continuously, jumping up against the cell door, scratching at the windows. Okay? The dog's barking and presence outside the prisoner's cell is intended to terrify and intimidate the prisoner into compliance with the order to cuff up. If the prisoner continues to resist, he knows the dog will be loosed on him. Some prisoners will wrap blankets, towels, and even toilet paper around their limbs to try and protect themselves from the dog bites. When the guards open the cell door, the leash dog enters the cell first. The dog handler is supposed to maintain his hold on the dog's leash while it attacks the prisoner. But this is not always the case. As one prisoner in Connecticut described his experience, the dog was barking uncontrollably and jumping up and out toward me. He released the dog off the leash, and the German Shepherd charged me. The dog is trained to bite whatever part of the prisoner it can grasp first. Okay? While they try to fend off or wrestle with the dog, officers enter the cell and use whatever force remains necessary to subdue him and put restraints on him. When dogs were used for cell extractions in Arizona, the procedure was different. Instead of going into the cell with the dog handler would remain outside holding onto a 30-foot leash attached to the harness on the dog. The dog would be let into the cell, jump on the prisoner, and bite him. Once the dog had a hold of the prisoner, the officers would pull on the dog's leash and drag the dog and the prisoner, gripped by the dog's jaws, out of the cell. A training video formerly used by the Arizona Department of Corrections shows a simulated cell extraction using this method. Okay? During cell extraction use on dogs, there's almost always an injury to the prisoner, at the very least a puncture. Former prison dog handler from Arizona told Human Rights Watch that most of the injuries he had seen were puncture wounds, but he said the most common mistake is for the person who is bidding to jerk away. This creates tearing. Okay? Oh, not surprising. Not surprising at all. Hi, Chef. Hey, everybody. So it's just a lot to take in. So this was sent to me from an anonymous emailer. I love getting my anonymous emailers. You guys write great stuff. This person says, "Hi, I hope you're doing well. I've been watching all your videos and always enjoy them and hearing what you have to say. I also loved your costume for Halloween. On a dog-related note, I went ice skating. Oh, I think I already did this one, but we'll go ahead and do it again in case you guys didn't see it. This week at a new place besides the usual places that I go." Let me take down this flag so I don't repeat it again. "I went to take my skate guards off and this dog was hanging out in the lobby area and I thought, wow, now they're bringing them to the ice skating rinks. It seemed decently behaved until some hockey kiddos were running around being kids, of course. The dog barks twice pretty loud as the kids run around. The owner is just chatting it up with other people. I kind of just put myself into a meditative state as this was going on, as I felt relaxed after skating, and that makes me feel less on edge, of course. And just felt like mentioning this to you as I noticed a lot of Reddit posts talking about this very issue of dogs being literally everywhere. I swear, I see a dog everywhere every day. It's not generally supposed to be. Every day I encounter a dog in the store. I was at the Walmart the other night. I see a dog walking with its owner. And so, yeah, like I said, we covered this, and I'll just move along. We covered that, and I put that into the last one. Oh, this lady. Fuck. I'm all fuck. I passed this one up last time because I was like, November 12th of 2021, owner of a dangerous pit bull has taken her case to Facebook, where we all know she'll get tons of support and everything will be okay. The owner of the pit bulls that killed a neighbor's aged beagle last month has taken her case to Facebook, prompting a firm rebuttal from an attorney representing the slain dog's owners. The pit bull owner, Emerald White, posted publicly on Facebook November 20th, claiming the incident, which includes the death of tiny piece of shit and 10-year-old decrepit ass beagle, a $1 million lawsuit by White against Bailey's owners, and they've been blown completely out of proportion. White's pit bulls killed Steve and Tiffany Baker's pet on October 27th in the backyard of their own home. This was in Texas. The story exploded November 10th when White sued the dead beagle's owners for up to $1 million in damages. I hope you guys are following this because this is how fucking crazy this is. White claims that she was seriously injured when she was unexpectedly and viciously attacked by the beagle while in the Baker's backyard while she had entered to retrieve her own dogs. So this woman went into their yard to get her dogs and got attacked by the beagle. Okay. Both she and the dogs entered the yard through a hole in the fence separating the two properties, according to court documents. She also claims she suffered multiple serious bite and scratch type injuries requiring ongoing medical treatment. The Baker's attorney, Angel Hagemeyer, issued a statement. Mrs. White's depiction of events is missing a few key elements. My clients have maintained this is not about bad dogs, but irresponsible dog owners. This whole shit. Miss White has 4 dogs that she cannot or will not control. She stood and watched as her dogs ripped through the fence into the beagle's yard. She did not or could not control them and the situation as they went after Bailey. That's the decrepit beagle's name. I'm going to say its name to make this story make more sense because you would think, the person with the beagle would be suing the person with the dogs that attacked the beagle, but it's the other way around. That's why I said stick with me because this is confusing and you'll think it's the other way. In the post, White goes on to say she was the only person that was present for the entire incident. Some people will do whatever it takes to get their 15 minutes of fame, or 21 days in this case, without any regard to what effect it has on the people or animals they're exaggerating about. Hagemeyer, the lawyer, had disputed White's claim that she was alone during the attack. Okay. Tiffany Baker tried but was unable to rescue Bailey, the beagle, because the White's dogs lunged at her as she attempted to do so. So understand, this woman's yard with the beagle in it. The lady that lives next door, her 4 dogs get in to their yard. She goes through the same hole. Her dogs are killing old decrepit beagle dog Bailey. Now, this lady whose dogs broke into their yard and killed her decrepit ass dog is trying to sue her. Do you understand? Mrs. Baker helplessly banged on the glass storm door, trying to get the dogs to stop, Hagemeyer wrote. This is the lawyer, right? The horror of the events have been difficult enough for the Bakers to process as a family, but Mrs. Baker as a mother feels responsible, like she let down Bailey and her family. In the Facebook post, White critiques the media attention the incident has attracted. It is sad that my neighbors are getting more than double the coverage than those people whose lives were taken prematurely or the people whose lives will be forever changed just from that one incident, White wrote. She was referring to an incident at the DuPont chemical plant, okay? So now she's deflecting, okay? Hagemeyer argues that it's White's actions that are fueling the story, right? But her filing a $1 million lawsuit against the Bakers, there would be no story for local and national media to follow. So this woman with the 4 dogs is fucking insane, right? The Bakers are not interested in living out their lives in view of the public, Hagemeyer wrote. She concluded her statement with a request that her client made earlier this week. Drop this ridiculous lawsuit, she wrote. Can y'all fucking believe that? It's so fucking stupid, it's hard to keep up with. So yeah, her dogs got through the fence. Well, let's see what you guys got here. Dogs are food, not family. I've eaten dog meat. I've said it a few times. It's fucking greasy. Doug has too. We had a big old discussion about eating dog meat the other day. I said, "Oh yeah, anybody who's been in the army is eating a dog," but he's like, "No, it was my neighbor's dog." We're a couple of pieces of shit over here, I'll tell you. It's not that great, but like I said, barbecuing, it's really the best way to go. Yeah, I the whole story was just fucking bizarre. I have eaten a few dogs. Not that it's surprising. And for anybody who is interested or ever talking about doing that, they have to be brined like hog meat because of all the parasites and stuff. So those of you that don't know how to make brine or how to deal with a hog before you eat it, so just pace yourself. You can't just, and I was talking to Doug about this too, and he was like, yeah, I totally didn't do that. I was like, that's why I wormed everybody. It's disgusting. I was a hound dog, some kind of mixed breed, and some kind of Doberman Pinscher mix. Okay. I'm great, Nikki. It's good to see you. Just talking about eating dogs, why not? It's not very tasty. The grease, Doug said the same thing. We were talking about it. He goes, so then I thought, like, well, maybe if I do a pot roast. He's like, but it was fucking terrible because it just shrunk up into nothing and it was all just grease and fat. And I was like, yeah, it's fucking disgusting. The best way is to brine it and barbecue it. It has to be done like a wild hog, straight up. So for any of you who are ever entertaining the idea of eating a dog, then let it be known. Here is another story from Christian, and without his help, I'd have to do a lot more studying, and I did not have time this week. Let me light up one of my candles here. It's getting like epically dark up in this bitch. Oh, I'm sore. 1 second, y'all. Oh. Oh. It's a good thing the door wasn't locked. I would have been salty about that. Okay. I'm about there. I had to find one of my lighters. I had 2 lighters die in the past week because I smoked too much. We've talked about this. All right. Quit, door. There. 6 pit bull related deaths are linked to the wickedest city in America. Okay? And this was as of October 1st. The Phoenix City goes to the dogs. Phoenix City, Alabama, if you guys remember from our list that I talked about, Alabama was like, what, right there in the middle of, what was it, most? It was the most dogs. Frank Jerome Red Cobb, 70 years old, was killed by a pit bull September 21st of 2021. Was at least the 6th pit bull-related fatality linked to Phoenix City, Alabama. Excuse me, the population of 36,000. Only 3 of the deaths, including Cobb's, actually occurred within the Phoenix City limits, yet the history of Phoenix City suggests the appalling rate of pit bull fatalities with local connections. Apparently the highest in the world per capita. It is no mere coincidence. But neither were any of the Phoenix City pit bull fatalities the fault of the victims, none of whom were pit bull owners. A video posted to Facebook was taken of Cobb as he lay in the dirt, pleading for help. Okay? Cobb's family confirmed it was Cobb in the video. News 3 obtained the footage, but chose not to show it due to the graphic images. And I've got a doozy for you guys to watch today. Attacked on a morning walk around his block, Cobb was transported first to Piedmont Columbus Regional Hospital and then to another hospital. The large black pit bull believed to have fatally injured Cobb was later found on U.S. Highway 431 dead after being struck by a vehicle. Good to whoever did that. Family members say Frank Cobb was a sweet guy who was full of life. He loved to talk to people. According to the obituary posted by the Taylor Funeral Home, he was born in 51, all right? He attended school in Columbus, which he had relocated. I'll just skip through a little bit of this. He was in the Job Corps. He was a cement finisher. For the most part, he appeared to have stayed out of trouble, which Phoenix City has long been notorious for. Even the one bit of trouble Cobb was in, okay, was just minor. It was simple shit. They didn't even put him in jail. Suing, and they don't even say what it was. Suing the police department, Presley won a $150,000 settlement. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped a part. His shit only made news because 14-year Phoenix City police officer Christina J. Presley refused to criminally charge and jail him. And she was suspended for insubordination because the crime was so minimal. She sued the police department and won a $150,000 settlement, when she agreed to also resign from the force. Oh. And then they go into some of his personal information. All right. A thread of cruelty and brutality which kept the citizens in a state of intimidation has twined through this neighborhood. Houses have been burned and bombed. People were assaulted. Gang warfare blazes the streets. That was Zoe. I'm just making sure there's anything else in here that we need to cover. I just keep talking about how bad the city is, and that is true out there. Just gang violence and nonstop crimes, gamblers, crooks, all this. So the continuing reputation of Phoenix City for pickup bars appears to have attracted serial killers, such as Curtis Ivy Grantham, okay? In the mid-1980s, he had set up a landscaping business and was hiring people, was killing all kinds of people. They're still talking about dogs, but it's like mixed in here. All right. They described how he, Grantham, and Grantham's pit bull brutalized a woman before slashing her throat and burying her in the woods. So the serial killer was using the dog. People testified that both men had raped her, sliced her throat with a knife, inflicting wounds that could have easily been inflicted by the pit bull. He's done this before. All right. So we'll just go on past this and down into here. More stuff about Phoenix with dogs. Long-rumored presence of dog fighting in the area, along with cockfighting. Okay. 29 pit bulls have been impounded from a wooded area in Box Springs, 10 miles east of Phoenix City. It drew light to local media attention as the death of Miracle Parham. All right. She was hit by a car at her school bus stop while trying to escape an attacking pit bull. So she ran out into the street trying to get away from this dog and got hit by a car. 40 days later, a pack of as many as a dozen mixed breed dogs, many of them believed to be at least part pit bull, broke through a fence to kill 5-year-old Kason Bryant in his family's yard at Phoenix City postal address, and they list that off, about 2 miles west of city limits. Katie Morrison, just north of Phoenix City, was next to die from a pit bull attack. 5 days, 5 days after she had been mauled, she died. She was going to dog sit for these people while they're out of town. One of the dogs just basically went up and jumped on her. And then the other 2 dogs joined in on the attack. Said the day of the attack, this guy's wife, Victoria, was with Morrison, who looked after the dogs. She knelt down to pick up a tennis ball. The first thing the dogs went after was Morrison's ponytail. I think what happened is she had the ponytail and reached down to get something, and one of the dogs said, "Hey, this looks like my rope toy," and jumped up. In a freak accident of a sort that seems to occur often with pit bulls and rarely with other dog breeds. And how did Phoenix City respond? They transferred the dogs from the animal shelter to the Tuskegee University Veterinarian School. All right. PETA got pissed off about that. Oh, wow. They were shipped off to the laboratory. A police chief confirmed that. And a reminder that pit bulls attack are anything but freak accidents. As of 2020, 40 days after Frank Cobb's death, 19-month-old Warren Fielding, son of Chelsea and Andrew Fielding, was out for a walk with his grandmother when he was attacked twice by what his parents claim was a pit bull mix that was owned by a family member and was staying at the residence. We read that story not long ago. The dog attacked my son. My aunt grabbed the dog. My mom wrapped herself around my son's body, and she got torn up pretty bad. According to the GoFundMe appeal posted by families and friends of Warden Fielding, due to skull fragments being lodged in his brain and extensive damage to the right side of his face, he was airlifted to another hospital. Fuck. So yeah, Phoenix getting fucked up. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty. Let's do another one. And then I'll check how long we've been here. We might have covered this one. Let me look at the date. I'm not sure, so we're going to go ahead and cover it. According to Allegheny County Police, a man was found dead inside his home along Grover Avenue. Oh, yeah, this is the one where they said it was apparent that the dog killed him, and then they just forget to bring that back up in the article. I believe Annabelle and I, or one of you guys, were talking about this. Fuck Fluffy. So let's move on. Trying to see, because I mixed some of these up the last time because I was working, so I didn't take a whole bunch of stuff off of here. So just bear with me. One, and so let me go back up to the top. That means we're caught up. That's wonderful. Oh my God, we're kind of caught up. Let me set a couple flags and let's move on here. Okay, here's another one from Christian. Apartment complex is using DNA to link dogs to poop that isn't picked up to hold owners accountable. When he sent me this, I said, you think this is about the time that we would stop and be like, how much money are we going to spend on these things? Isn't this a massive waste of resources? Nobody's going to take care of their pets right and clean up their shit. Why are we doing this? But we don't. We decided, what kind of apartment complex has this kind of money? Using DNA to link dogs to poop that isn't picked up to hold the owners accountable, which I'm glad, but I mean, do you see what I'm saying? It's just so much money. At a St. Louis, motherfucker. Okay. Tenants will be faced with serious consequences if they leave behind their dog's poop. Downtown Gallery, 1014 luxury apartments. That just answers. I'm like, St. Louis is pretty ghetto, except for like one little section of the city. So, they have a strict no poop policy, and by providing residents with pooper scoopers and waste bags, there's really no excuse not to pick it up, says resident Jake Bearden, who is a dog dad. Upon move-in, the apartment complex's district manager, Mike Cooker, told the outlet dog-owning tenants that they must abide by their policy by taking cheek swabs of their fur babies and sending the sample to Poo Prints, a Tennessee-based lab that specializes in dog DNA waste management. God, these people are making money. The dog's DNA will then be registered in the Poo Prints database. And if the dog poop is ever left behind on the apartment's property, staff can collect a sample and send it to the lab to try and find a match. Just kill me now, y'all. At first, the reaction is, are you serious? You can do that? Yeah, that's because they don't want to pick it up. Poo Print CEO Jay Rettinger told the news station, we get hundreds of pieces of poo in the mail a day. Bags and bags. Guys, can't make this shit up. According to their website, the millions of bacteria found in pet waste can be harmful to humans and other animals and can also contaminate water systems. Yeah, we've been talking about that on this channel, on Four-Legged Plagues channel. Rational Cleanliness has a thing about eating a shit sandwich. That's not healthy. Chef has talked about it. Zoe and I have talked about it. We have talked about this. Oh, there's a related article too we'll get into. The company's pet waste DNA program has gained traction since its inception in 2010 and is now used by over 6,000 properties in the US, Canada, and the UK. The Gallery Apartments said the program has come in handy at nabbing dog poo offenders. Cougar told the outlet, having poo prints really helped us with that because we weren't having to go through video footage to try to find someone or just giving up on it and doing it ourselves. If dog owners violate the policy the first time, they face a fine. Repeat offenders lose their pet privileges. Oh, here's this related article because I hate myself. Colorado residents were fined hundreds after DNA linked them to errant dog poop. Apartment buildings are using a company called Poo Prints to do DNA testing and tracking down owners who leave poop behind. This was in Broomfield, Colorado. They are taking a cue from CSI. They started using the DNA testing as a way to punish owners who leave their pets' waste behind. Okay, and so they go into Poo Prints and all this crap. The DNA testing costs $75 a sample and hasn't... Y'all have mercy on me. I'm just going to stop and say, IHD was talking about the stress and just reading all of this stuff and gave me the wonderful compliments about my sense of humor. My sister has said 100 times she thinks that's because I have gone through so much in my life that that's how I deal with things. And so it's real easy for me to go from going to I might be bipolar too, but whatever. I'm not on paper. Ha. I'm actually very healthy. So, well, mostly. Anyways, moving on. $75 a sample. See, this is the stress I'm talking about. I can't take this shit, this literal shit. I'm gonna start sending. Ouch, my brain, y'all. This approach has led to hundreds of dollars in fines for residents like Michael Lytle, who was tracked down by Poo Prints twice. Motherfucker. She's a teacup chihuahua and she's a runt, he said of his fine accruing dog. Her droppings are no larger than what geese leave behind. So the fuck what? His dog's droppings don't count. And I don't care if you have a tiny little stupid dog anyways. Kiss my ass. The owner said he is diligent in poo pickup, but he can lose droppings at night in his building's tall grass. These excuses aren't enough to save Lytle from fines. He is one of many dog lovers feeling the weight of Colorado's dog poop crackdown. This is what we're doing, people. This is I don't know, next time somebody's like, oh, you're wasting your time talking for hours about dogs. So many more important things is going on. Commercial properties had a major problem with dog waste not being cleaned up, said Sam Johnson, owner of the Pet Scoop and Poo Prints of Colorado. Most of the feedback we get is really positive. The community can then enforce their pet policies. According to a sample taken from the housing complexes using Poo Prints, dog waste is down 81% for clients. Yeah, because nobody would have cleaned any of this shit up if you didn't make them. Once people know they have to be accountable, the problem typically just goes away. No shit, dude. Affected dog owners understand the desire to keep their building free of dog waste, but wish property owners were a little more forgiving with fines. $75 for a fucking... I understand going after blatant poopatrators. I made that up. They said perpetrators. I said poopatrators. You're welcome, world. Lytle said, but it's turned just the opposite of that. I don't know if they're trying to pay for the DNA to process, which is pretty expensive. It's just not a fair practice. Well, you're the poopatrator. Attention, Colorado dog owners. Always keep one eye trained to the ground when your pup is taking care of business. You don't know who will pick it up if you don't. So here's what's up. We've got one person letting their dog shit on the ground. Then we've got another person going and scooping it up and taking it and sending it off to the lab. Fuck. Thank you for putting up the Facebook group, Beanie. And you throw up my email if you'd like as well. Hi, Vox. Yeah, just euthanizing now. Let's get over it. Yeah, the pizza one fucked me up, and then he told me he's got a sandwich one, and I was like, well, let me get my bleach, and I'll go watch it, because that's the only way for me to watch that. Ugh. Oh, I've got some pretty funny ones for you. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, we're just at around an hour, so we're good. The poopatrator, the dirty poopatrator. Oh my God. Oh, this one's from Gling. We need to talk about this. I haven't seen many people talk about this. It needs to be talked about. And I don't know if this is the same one that somebody else had sent me. Nope. Okay, so you guys, this one's about an 8-day-old baby that was killed. So brace yourselves. This is a sad one. And apparently, right around the same date, there was a child killed in the UK as well. I didn't get a chance to look the article up. Annabella had sent it to me, but she didn't send the attachment. So let's see if she actually emailed me back real quick. Nope. But I've got one from 2 of you that are actually live right now. I'm going to share it right now. Kupak asked me to share this, and Kupak's been here with us. Kupak, raise your hand. Are you still here? Because I got your story. Then we'll get into this terrible story. Let's cover the 2 things these guys sent me. I've got one from Orc and one from Kupak, and then we're going to cover this 8-day-old child. There you are. Hello, Ashley. This is Kupak, and I wanted to tell you a quick story you can share on Fuck Fluffy Fridays at 5 today. And it even happened today. So, I have a bro whom I am best friends with for over a good 3 years. Unfortunately, as an intelligent 20-year-old young man, he could not understand that having shit in your home is a problem. He has 2 French pit bulls. Oh, those are terrible, and they shit everywhere. One is a newer mutt, 1.5 years old, and the other is about 3. His mother is also a huge mutt nut, and even though she's a very kind-hearted woman, sometimes she gets stressed at them for shitting and pissing all over the house or breaking something. Yes, they are so helpless when the mutts shit and piss on the floor. It's just bad dog from the mom and a tired from my bro. Interesting how this reaction is more directed at how he has to clean it up more than he has a literal animal shitting on the floor, stinking up the whole room. So today he had a few croissants in the kitchen, and I got one, which was very nice. I wouldn't eat in that house. There's just fecal matter floating everywhere. Unfortunately, when I came to the living room, I noticed a shit next to the 1 foot away from the couch, literally 6 to 7 feet from where I had sat. I set my things on the table, and minutes later, I go back with the food to the kitchen. When I'm back, he asks why. So I said that I'd prefer to eat while watching a longer show, 50 minutes, and not The Office, obviously delaying my consumption, hoping he will notice the literal stink of shit. You're nicer than me, I'd have told him. Through the whole 20 minutes of watching, I was covering my nose with the collar of my jumper, and he didn't ask. Then we turned on a longer show and went for chips, and he got the snacks in the bowl. And by some small talk, I pointed out that there was a shit next to the couch, because you can never be straightforward with the temper of these lunatics, always walking on eggshells, you know. How it is if you've lost a friend too by these arguments. And I have, okay. And he looked at me with his lazy stoned eyes asking, is it really bothering you that much? I get you can be stoned and don't want to move a finger, but the guy I call a brother had the audacity to even ask me if I'm bothered by the shit being next to me and stinking up everything. So much that I can't eat and had to cover my drink with a face mask. I HD'd it alive about shit particles floating in the air, just so I'm not poisoning myself. That's what I said too. And that's it. I just wanted to remind our little dogs are garbage club that even a person that sees you as its most loyal human companion could be so brainwashed by these mutts that he assumes you're going to put up with a shit being next to you for 2 hours. The audacity. Anyways, take care, Ashley. Have a nice evening or day, or I don't know your time because I'm Slavic. It is 6 p.m. here, Kupak, and thank you for sharing your story. And I wouldn't even have done it. I can't do it. I'd have just sat outside on my cell phone or done anything else. I bet you there's probably less shit in the yard than there is in that house. So thank you for sharing. And let's see what Orcrench had to say here. Orc, I'm going to trust you and go ahead and play this. Give me 1 second and go ahead and play this up here. Like I told everybody else, don't mind me. I'm all broke out and bashed myself in the face with a tool this week. So my lip's like super swollen and it hurts. I was like stupid insecure about it and didn't want to even go live. I was going to hide today. And then I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So Orc says it's funny. I believe her. And actually, I can already see this guy is roasting a dude with an emotional support dog. Let's enjoy. Let's do a comedy right now. Then we'll do the sad story about the baby, huh? And then back down again, up, down, right? Join me.
The fucking dog. Oh, it's bashful now. You would have a dog at the first show, man. Y'all can't be normal for no reason. And that's a big dog. It's not even... Oh, my Lord. Was it a husky? Damn. Male or female? Female husky. Husky bitch. Should call it Lizzo. Who's paralyzed? You or him? You are? It's your dog? It's your dog that you got because you're paralyzed. I don't know, bro. I feel like that's more work. You get like a horse if you're paralyzed. You don't get a dog. You literally have to walk a dog. Right? Like, did you take your dog for a walk? No one says, yo, did you take your dog for a roll? Did you take your dog for a hobble? This is the worst. And it's a real dog, man. Don't huskies do the mush shit? Isn't
like
that?
Chicago.
You're not trying to walk at your crippled ass pace. He's trying to go. That's a wolf, bro. You got a wolf. What an asshole, man. I'm frightened of this guy. There's a lot of pent-up energy in that dog. It's gonna bite me at any point in time. I'm more scared of that dog than the fucking Asians right over there, dog. This is the head of the coronavirus. You don't look Asian enough. You gotta be Filipino or Mexican or some shit. What are you? You're Filipino. I feel okay with you. But he's looking at that dog, licking his lips, bro. Motherfucker, like, who ordered the appetizers? Don't put your hands on your mouth. That's how you get it. This guy hasn't laughed once. He's like, they sat me next to this fucking virus, bro. Bro, black people are afraid of a few things, not many, but a few. Or one is getting sick, the other is dogs, and this guy's right in the middle. Hold on, you got a man bun, bro? What type of... Portland, that's the weirdest part of the front row. We got a crippled dog walker. We got coronavirus Asian Zero and a black guy with a man bun, dude.
Thank you, Orc. Thank you, Orc. We needed that before we get into this. Deanna, why are you messaging me? You know I'm live. All right, let's get into this terrible story. I think probably a little comic relief before we get into this was probably a good idea. 8-day-old baby dies after being attacked by a dog. This was published November 10th of 2021. Kenley, an 8-day-old baby, died Wednesday after being attacked by a dog. Law enforcement authorities are still investigating the tragic death. Around 5 a.m., Kenley police and first responders were dispatched to a home. Authorities discovered where the male infant had been reportedly attacked inside the home by a female pit bull dog. Kenley police requested the assistance of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation and Johnston County Medical Examiner's Office. This afternoon, Police Chief Josh Gibson said the death is being treated as accidental. First and foremost, we offer our sincere condolences to the family and their friends during this difficult time, he said in a prepared statement. The pit bull was seized at the scene by Johnston County Animal Control. An official said the animal was surrendered to them, and after a 72-hour hold, it will be euthanized. Johnston County report has learned that counseling will be offered to the fire department, first responders, EMS workers, 911 dispatchers, and law enforcement that were involved with the incident. Okay. God, there is so much about this article that I can just right offhand already shaking my head. Why can't we offer counseling to the parents and start sending them to therapy so they can learn not to do stupid shit like this? Why was this accidental? Why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep allowing these dangerous predators around our children? It's always a fucking accident. What's up, Desgraciado? Good to see you. Mutt was a stray too. It seemed like it was in the home. Same thing every time. Every fucking time. A new victim needs to be made before action is taken. What a fucking disgrace to the human race. I completely agree. This shit is so fucked up. God. This might get I might get a strike for this, all right? But I want you guys to see it. Like I said, I might get a strike for this, but I think it's important. You guys, brace yourselves. This is a horrific attack. Some of you may have already seen it. This is fucked. Okay? Someone shared this through the Facebook and shared it from another Facebook channel. Dog attacks his owner, and you can see it wagging its tail the entire time.
Be quiet. Don't move. Just stay there. Don't move. Don't move. Wait. Don't move. Don't move, mister. Don't move. Don't
it's
move,
his own
mister.
dog.
Y'all better go in the car. You see it? The dog is attacking his master. He's just he's biting him.
Oh, just wait, y'all.
Oh, man, he's biting him. Don't you wow. His face. Oh, my God, he's biting his face.
Just wait till they show it up close, Orc. Fortunately, people finally step in.
You see? I'm trying. I don't know how. There we go. Yo no quiero ningún paramédico, no hace nada, mira. Wow. Sí. Wow, mira cómo lo tumba. Oh my God. You see it?
Just wait till you see him. She's yelling, it's not funny. It's not funny.
Por eso yo no quiero saber de perro. Está muy igualito. Ni perro, yo no quiero nada. A mí no me gustan animales. Y la cara que le hizo. No, él está buscando el cuello. El cuello. El cuello.
Here comes some people to help. Look at how bloody he is. Watch.
El lazo, hay que cogerle el lazo.
Yeah, he was eating the man alive. I was shocked. Like, why hasn't someone jumped in and helped this guy yet? I couldn't believe it. Yeah, for fuck's sake. I couldn't believe it. I was just watching this video in horror going, someone jump in there and help this guy. And he'd go to try to get down. Let's not all forget. Everybody likes to push. Christian's been talking about this too. We're going to read some comments that he sent me. They like to claim that they have such good control over these things. And then you see shit like this and you're just like, no, you don't have fucking control over these things. The blows were so satisfying. That blow is more satisfying than the last blow that I gave. It was a blowjob joke, people. All right, moving on. Yes, I think I'm funny. Okay, so, well, yes, I think I'm funny. The rest of you don't have to listen to me all fucking day, so just don't worry about it. Damn it. You know? That's what he said. Thank you. Okay, look. I'm only going to read a handful of these because Christian, oh, I might have seen that link. Christian goes hard. Okay? He goes hard on the pit hags. And sometimes they don't even realize it's happening. Here are some comments. This girl is responding to him in his defense of, look, hard, blowjob. Are we all having fun here? All these dick references. But my son brought home a toilet paper roll today that they, did all this art stuff too. And I looked at it and I said, boy, is that a dick? Let me see that. And I grab it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, they got you making dicks in school? What kind of shit is this? And I start flipping around trying to figure it out. And on the container, it says, K is for king. I'm like, oh, excuse me. It's a king dick. Of course I was saying this all to myself and not to my son because I'm not an asshole. But I was thinking it. Plus, it was real small, so it was very familiar to me as a dick. A sheep, a drum, and a snake jump off a cliff. What sound do they make? That's all my jokes. So, here's some conversations that Christian's been, hey, King Dick. Here's some Okay. I gotta shut the fuck up. She's okay. This is in response to talking about defending yourself against dogs. Christian is a master at this. He has multiple Facebook pages that he goes through them all, and he will tell them stuff like, I might not be able to find all these, so I'm going to give you the pretense here. He says, well, it's funny. So he likes to tell them, like, look, I don't know anything about dogs and pets. I don't know anything about dogs. How do you control them? What would I do to defend myself? What's that? You have a pit bull. Explain it to me. And he cracks me the fuck up. Yes, I do have a candle as a light. Because I want to turn on my light. And I already told you guys I bashed myself in the mouth today. And I'm super insecure about my fucked up complexion and my super swollen busted lip. I'm so insecure about it. I have my moments. I can make dick sucking jokes while also having a busted lip. How do you think I busted my lip? Oh, I told you I took a rake to the face. It was a dick. I'm joking. Let's go. I'm joking. It's never a dick. It's always some other wood object that I don't want in my mouth that's in my mouth. Anyhow, I'm moving on. We're moving on. Everybody grow up, you dorks. Hey, Christian, I'm glad I can help. Okay. This woman says, I'm 5'1", and formerly very slightly built female who has been walking multiple dogs, mostly pit bulls and pit bull mixes for decades. Never once have I lost control of my dogs or been pulled anywhere. Am I stronger than a group of dogs that weigh me? No, I'm a conscientious handler who pays attention to my surroundings. Now, when he sent me this, I stopped and said, oh, so since she is good at that, means that applies to everybody, right? That means nobody's going to lose control of their dogs just because this one lady has a good experience with it. Someone else says, wait. Oh, so here's Christian. I've never had any pets. I'm allergic to cats and dogs. In the past couple of years, I've seen more off-leash dogs that are bully breeds and pit bulls. At this point, I usually see an off-leash bully breed in my local neighborhood on my Facebook group. And so these came in kind of fucked up. So I apologize if the conversation's kind of all over the place because he and I were working. Oh, I found it. Okay. And then this girl says, I believe you said you don't have much experience with dogs. They eat that shit up, man. He just acts like he is naive and doesn't know what he's talking about. And then once they say a bunch of dumb shit, he just twists it all around on them. He is a master ninja. Okay. The video you linked isn't evidence of much except mismanagement and some basic laws of physics. If I'm inattentive and my dog has 15 feet of slack in the leash and leaps for a squirrel, it's going to be uncomfortable for both of us if I don't act. but I don't give my dog 15 feet of slack. Oh, thank you, Strawberry. I appreciate that. And she says, oh, this is so I've seen loose dogs in the Facebook group about every week or two. I've watched a lot of dog expert type videos and studied dog attack incidents. The more I've studied, the more it seems like pro dog, pro bully breed people blame the owners of the dogs and or the victims. People often say the dog wasn't raised right, or it's been abused, or that somehow it was triggered to attack. If they blame the victim, they will likely say they weren't calm enough, or they were afraid of the dog, or they looked the dog in the eyes and triggered it, or they sneezed or coughed, or shouldn't have been out jogging around with the dog. They shouldn't have ever tried to pet it, etc. The lists are so extensive, I don't see how anyone can justify bringing them into their homes and out in public around people. No matter how well trained a dog seems to be, they still seem unpredictable and a major liability. This girl says, hey, dump dogs. This girl says, I can well understand your concerns and how you have drawn the conclusions you have. But while you have seen off-leash dogs in person, and I don't know your circumstances, so I certainly can't speak to how appropriate or inappropriate this is, the conclusions you have drawn based on the sensationalism of the internet are less solid. I have owned American Pit Bull Terriers for about 30 years. I've also owned Old English Bulldogs, but not in 20 years or so. I have been actively involved in multiple sports and training venues and have put in multiple high-level titles on multiple dogs. I will certainly blame irresponsible ownership for plenty of bites, unless a victim was actively abusing a dog, and I don't mean stepping on its tail or picking up a piece of food they dropped, or assaulting a human, or somehow legitimately made the dog feel its life or a person's life is in danger. I'm not blaming the victim. People get to be people. They can scream, wave their arms, run, walk funny. Dogs shouldn't bite. I bring my dogs lots of places. We hike. We go to pet-friendly stores. I brought my certified therapy dogs to the school where I teach. I go to agility trials. They go to hotels, stay at other people's homes and motor homes as guests. They sleep on my bed. My son's dog slept on his bed from the time he was 3 until he was 17. But the kid moved out so he could get away. My dogs are an integral part of my life, but I am dog savvy. I know my dogs. I know how to read dog body language. Wait a minute. There you go. Sorry, I had to. I know that what they can handle, what they may struggle with. I know how they will react to other dogs depending on circumstances, and my dogs are trained. They have worked on impulse control. They know what is tolerated and what isn't. They're not predictable. They are consistent. I know there is a world of lousy owners and poorly bred, poorly trained dogs, but that doesn't describe all of us dog owners. Oh, fuck. Yeah, they don't attack until they do. Exactly. Poo prints. Cha-ching. That's what I said. Christian says, thanks for the feedback, but I really don't understand why people need to have dogs in general. Even more than that, I don't understand why people feel a need for the larger and more potentially dangerous dog breeds. The dogs I've seen off leash in my neighborhood belong to people, or they were living with people temporarily as foster dogs. Legally, they weren't supposed to be running through the neighborhood off leash. When I see a bully breed pit bull running loose through my neighborhood, I have this feeling like I fear for my life and my safety. For most of my life, I've enjoyed walking and bicycling through my neighborhood, but I stopped doing that about 2 years ago. Oh, I lost it. Wait a minute. Here goes that crate. Okay, I found it. I'm good. I stopped doing that about 2 years ago when I had an off-leash bully breed dog run up at me barking and growling across the street from my home. I shined a flashlight in its eyes, which seemed to stop it from running towards me and allowed me to walk away from it. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't have that flashlight aimed at its eyes until I was able to get into my front door. I've seen people post online in my local neighborhood Facebook group that their dogs escape their fenced yards on a regular basis. I didn't first hear of problems with bully breeds of pit bulls through the media. My father used to be a police officer and went on calls for problems with loose pit bulls and putting neighbors in fear to go outside of their own homes. I first heard of this pit bull problem in the early 90s from my father. In the mid and late 90s, I was attacked by a boxer and a husky on 2 separate occasions. I'm glad those dogs weren't pit bulls. I might have been injured or killed. Also, I've seen other breeds of dogs off leash in my neighborhood, such as a Boston Terrier. It felt a little different as a response in comparison to an off-leash bully breed. I wasn't afraid of a Boston Terrier, so I didn't bother getting animal control involved. If it is a bully breed loose in my neighborhood, I feel a need to take time and date stamp pictures of it and report it to animal control. If you think my opinion of bully breeds of pit bulls is based on media sensationalism, then I would say that pictures of bully breeds with human kids is propaganda. If this was all this immediate attention going on trying to get people to bring dogs into their homes, there would be less attacks. My experience with dogs comes from not ever having any type of pet and not having an emotional need to have dogs. The other major influence on my views of dogs was my father being a police officer and learning about problems with bully breeds and pit bulls from a legal and liability standpoint. Why does anybody want to be liable for these things and put themselves and people in danger? I don't think people should have dogs in general, but if they must have them, I think they should have the smaller and less potentially dangerous breeds. Fucking A, dude. Another great feed from Christian, and he's got a lot more of them, but I can't cover them all right now because we're going to cover Shamina's article she sent. And there, she did send me the other one I was looking for. You kick ass, girl. Thank you. She says, "Hi, Ashley. Just wanted to say, first of all, I'm enjoying your live streams. Keep up the good work. It's nice to finally find a community that feels the same way in this crazy world. Here's a very recent news article of a dog attacking and killing a 10-year-old in the UK. Okay, I was wanting to see this. So, mother of a 10-year-old boy who was killed in a dog attack near Caerphilly in South Wales has described her son as beautiful and sweet. Jack Liss was attacked at a friend's house in a street near to his home. Police were called to the address 3:55 p.m. on Monday, accompanied by paramedics and the Welsh Ambulance Service. In a Facebook post, Jack's mother, Emma Whitfield, wrote, "With so much heartbreak and before close friends and family see his name in the news, I have to announce our beautiful boy Jack was taken so tragically yesterday. It was not our dog, nor did it happen at our family home. He was out to play. We love you so much, our sweet, sweet boy." Jack, who was on an after-school play date at the house where the dog lived, had such severe injuries he was unable to be saved. Chief Superintendent Mark Horborough said, "We strongly suspect the level of injuries to Jack would suggest he was deceased by the time he was moved away from the premises. When the police arrived, officers were met by a large amount of the community outside of their houses expressing concern. The constables rapidly managed to distract the dog very quickly and remove Jack from the building, but it was too late to save him. Inside the home, the animal was said to still be acting aggressive, running around the premise and attempting to escape. Firearms officers followed the initial response and destroyed the animal." Notice the difference between, it's not done yet, but between this article from the UK about this 10-year-old boy and the article about the 8-month-old baby. Just quite different in length, quite different in the turnout, the resolution. I mean, so said an expert will identify the dog and whether it was illegal under the Dangerous Dog Act. He added the animal was very large and powerful. It was owned by the people who lived at the house in question, which Jack was visiting after school. Police are in the process of speaking to the owners of the dog following the incident. My condolences and thoughts are with Jack's family, friends, school friends, and everyone affected by this within the community. He added, officers are continuing to make further inquiries at this time and will remain at the scene as the investigation progresses. There will be a significant presence of officers in this area. As our inquiries continue, please do not be alarmed. If you have concerns or information, please do stop and talk with us. Okay? Appropriate support is being made available for the pupil and staff of the school. And everybody's getting together and putting out memorials and talking about how fucked up this is. I mean, honestly, it was a 50-kilogram shit bull. Thank you for sharing the story, Shamina. Hey, Annabella, or hey, Anna B. Sorry, I always say the wrong one. Thank you for sending that because Anna tried to send it to me, and then the article wasn't attached. And then I was like, I know someone sent it to me, and it was you. And I appreciate you so much. Oh, Sam, you're not even, and don't lie to me about it either, because I'll go find out. No, thank you for sending it. And let me go back, I believe. And see, this is where she got the other information. The neighbor said they could hear other people screaming. And police had asked them to stay in the animal. Say the aggressive dog was large and powerful, and he and the friend were alone with the pet. And he had attempted to flee the house where he was being attacked by the large and powerful dog. He died at the scene. Whew. Yeah. What a way to die at 10 years old. Thank you for sending it. All right, guys. You know what? I think it's comedy time. Kind of hard to jump from one to the next, right? But I do. So let's cover a couple things before we do for a smoother transition. Let's see. Beanie Girl, let's put up the email. I want to encourage you guys, once again, like I always do, to email me with any of your personal stories, any recent attacks that you see, just to say hi. If you want to rant, I had a couple people just this week. A lot of you guys have my phone number, mostly the chicks. You know, it's a taco stand here. Speaking of which, Tuesdays there are new live streams instead of Wednesdays, and I believe we're going to call it as Tail Wagon Trash Terrier Taco Tuesdays. So many T's. We are a female created, female moderated, female ran channel. So, you know, that's cool. That's why I wanted to throw the Taco Tuesday in there. And I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of all of you. And I'm so appreciative. And Taco. And like I said, thank you to the person who donated. I don't know if you guys, I don't get a lot of donations. That's why I don't worry about it, right? Thank you, Asher. I was just about to ask. This petition that Asher just put up that I'm going to pin, okay, is the petition that Deanna created to ban pit bulls in Ottawa after the recent attack on Halloween. If you have not signed, please sign. That would be great. Share on any dog pages. Christian, also make sure and snag up that petition, and we need to get to sharing it. I haven't had much time to mess with it at all, regrettably. Yeah, this week has been terrible for attacks. We're never going to run out of content. Let's see. Fuck Fluffy, right? Thank you, Isabel. I felt like there was something else. Oh yeah, thank you to the person that donated. That meant a lot to me. I don't have a lot of donations. I work a lot, you know, so I don't really need them. I just have the option because you guys kept asking for it, so it's up there. Let's see. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, because we can use all the help we can get. And that goes to the rest of you dorks too. Help share the petition and sign it. Let's see. And thank you to all the moderators. We'll get into the comedy in a minute. So, fuck. I felt like there was something else I was going to say, but I don't remember. So, yeah, that's the PayPal. Email me with your stuff, guys. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I just had like 2 people get a hold of me this week. Zoe got a hold of me, and then a couple other people. I'm going to keep them anonymous because I don't want to put their business out there. But, you know, just like got a hold of me to like vent, like, oh man, yeah, you are a dork. It's okay. So, you know, you guys need to let the heat off, talk about it. Queen Cat. Oh, Queen Cat's watching from the beginning, I think, or she's like way lagged because she keeps nope, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I really enjoy the community. I enjoy being able to speak to everybody. Oh, don't email me stuff, Christian. Just send it to the phone. You said Dork King. King Dick. You know, just send it to me on the phone, Christian. Please don't start emailing me. I already have enough emails. But fuck Fluffy, thank you. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, fuck Fluffy's Fridays at 5. Episode 7 will be next Friday, and then we'll be doing Tuesdays, and that's going to be early in the morning for all our people that are in different time zones. So between the times of 5 and 7 a.m. I have a whole lot of shit going on again this week. I know you guys are really, really surprised by that. So let's do our comedy, shall we? Are we all ready to laugh now that we've come down from all these horrific stories about children being killed? And, I've said this a couple times and I'll go ahead and repeat it before I go on. And I still have a shit ton of stuff I didn't even cover. But, I'm not going to make you guys sit here all fucking day. The fuck's this? Oh, okay. Should I fuck Fluffy on Hate Dogs TV at 5? Yeah, I have so much stuff to cover, but okay, guys. We're gonna do the gross comedy first, because I have 2 I wanted to cover that are heavily related to one another. So we're gonna start with the gross comedy, and then we'll move on to okay. God damn it. Stupid Cora. Here's the name of the story from Cora. I vomited after taking MDMA and my dog ate the vomit. What should I do? Oh, oh God. And then she even puts in the thing, mummy to a 14-year-old staffy. Lady, we don't care how old your staph infection is. Oh, come on. She said, I'm going to take a slightly different stance on this, as I am a regular drug user myself and I have some knowledge of drugs in general. If you are being sick, the MDMA will likely be in your system by now. It makes you vomit when the chemicals hit your brain. It would be unlikely that any of the crystals would remain, or if you snorted it, any actual substance would be left. There may be some chemical residue in your bloodstream from it. For the most part, your body is purging it as it's getting high, which is why you come up so hard after you vomit. This lady really knows her drugs, because that's true. If you have it, give your dog activated charcoal in a piece of meat. They need quite a bit. You can find calculators online as to the amounts. This lady is rolling off MDA and you want her to use a calculator and give a dog activated charcoal? And honestly, I think I have tons of friends and lots of good people in my life. And I think I can only think of myself and maybe 2 other people I know that actually have our activated charcoal on hand. One of those people could definitely not operate it when they were high on MDMA. For those of you who don't know, MDMA is ecstasy. Okay. Keep an eye on the dog. If it starts to act strangely or get thirsty, then take it to the vet for a checkup. So yes, while you're fucked up on ecstasy, take it. Why the fuck do people have these things? I wouldn't worry too much. The drug is much more in your system than the dog from ingesting vomit. The likelihood is that it will be fine. If your dog directly ingests MDMA, it's an instant emergency vet visit, and it can be very dangerous. So you guys, for anybody who doesn't know, there are anything that has any type of amphetamine in it, anything that is like ecstasy, it has certain components that it is super dangerous for dogs. So there's the gross one first. She said, and she said, smothered the dog. That's the only cure. He said, terrible Taco Tuesday. Ugh, the dog is fucked. We'll just take another dose each. That's a good idea. Word. If this is dog know how to party, I mean, because you know what I'm saying? He sounds like a fucking lightweight to me. Yes, rational cleanliness. Thank you for saying that. MDMA is ecstasy, like I was explaining too. Dog danced around to techno without music. I will share a story before I get to the last comedy story. I worked in the cannabis industry most of my life. I was actually part of the legalization and recreational changes in Arizona. Okay. Like a big part of it. Like I was there in its infancy and shit. I could tell y'all some stories, but I can make some mean edibles. And so I used to make edibles and sell them. This was like back when it was like white market, gray market, black market, and everybody was just running amok as the Wild West up in this bitch. We were all just getting high and doing our thing and selling out of the back doors of legal establishments, and they were illegal. And it was just all over the place, right? Now you can just go down the road and buy it like you can booze. So I was selling this person a bunch of edibles one day, and they just set them up on the counter. And I was like, you should put those away. And they were like, dude, I'll get them. Chill. Let's go smoke. And I'm like, you should put those away. Like, something gets into them, you're gonna be fucking sorry. And they're all like, dude, and they're like pissed at me for bringing it up. And I'm like, okay, whatever, right? So we go smoke. And yeah, you know, I lived in Washington for some time there, chef. So we went to go smoke, and then we go to leave, and they're all still on the counter. And I was like, should really pick those up, right? And he's like, dude, drop it. I'll pick them up as soon as you leave. Why do you have to be like this? And I'm like, okay. Like, because they were these cookies I made. Instead of snickerdoodles, we called them hyperdoodles. They were very strong. And, well, I get a call a couple hours later from that very customer. Oh my God, man. My dog ate all these fucking brownies. And I'm like, I was afraid the kid was going to get them. That's a story we're not going to share on YouTube. Because I've got a couple of those. And it's not my fault, okay? And he goes, what am I going to do? What do I do about the dog? And I'm like, give him some fucking Cheetos and some water, man. Let him fucking, you know, is this dog party? Is this dog party? What's up? You know, how lame is he? Dude, no it's if you don't like dogs. It doesn't fucking matter, man. It's fucking my dog. Blah, 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 my dog. I'm all, dude, your dog's gonna be fucking fine. I have shit to do. I don't have time to waste with you on the fucking phone talking about a stupid ass dog eating expensive fucking edibles that I spent all goddamn night making for you so a dog could eat them when I told you 3 fucking times to take them off the counter. He goes, she can't stand up, man. I was like, yeah. He goes, do you think it's the chocolate? I'm like, no, I don't, because it was all milk chocolate and it has to be dark chocolate to hurt a dog. Okay? The dog's just high. I was like, can you imagine, like, dogs suck dick? Whoa, that's a lot of information there, Slime. Then, if you imagine yourself taking a whole bottle of vodka to the face in under a minute, that's probably how the stupid fucking dog feels. I said, hey, maybe it'll be smarter when it comes out of it, you know? And, oh, man, because, like, I'm always knocking on dogs. I've always kind of been an asshole, right? And, too hot for YouTube type of, yeah, I can't talk about some of that stuff on you. And, you know, I talk about almost anything. So the fucking dog was fine. I'm like, dude, you know, I told you 15 fucking times to pick the shit up. Fuck no, it didn't die. And I was right. It might have gotten slightly more intelligent. He goes, I don't know what happened, man. He was a super stoner too. He talked just like that. I don't know what happened, man. But after that dog ate those brownies, and there was like 6 of them, okay? He goes, hey, Callie. He goes, he like stopped going to the bathroom in the house, man. Totally waits to go outside. And I'm like, yeah, maybe he got smarter. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he thinks you fucking poisoned him. You know, oh no, I can't, rational cleanliness. I had a couple of customers back in the day let their kids get a hold of some edibles, and we're not going to talk about that on YouTube. I already pushed enough boundaries on this channel today, even showing that guy get attacked. You know, we'll see how it goes. Let's get, dogs suck dick. I said, whoa, buddy. Why has there been so much dick sucking talking on this stream? You dirty dick suckers. You guys are motherfuckers. I'm a father fucker. Well, I used to be. And obviously a bunch of dick suckers and dorks. Wow. He said, but it's true. They do, everyone. Dogs suck dicks. I'm so glad my kid is really far away. Dogs do suck dicks. People force them to give them oral sex all the time. It's true. You're all right. We're all a bunch of sickos. It is confirmed. It is confirmed. Oh, she said they suck they get stuck to each other. They do. Okay. Let's do our last comedy story. That's why dog nutters buy so much peanut butter. It's true, you know, and as we've covered, and if you guys haven't seen my video on bestiality and zoophilia, it's all scary. I suggest you watch all the horrors of the bestiality world and zoophilia. You find out things that you never knew were true. Bask yourselves in the blowjobbery of dog nuttery as they sucketh upon one another. It's disgusting. No, it's serious. And more people do this than what you could ever fucking imagine. Okay? I mean, at a rate that's unreal. I remember the part with about the women. And they were like, it was like over 70 or 80% of women, because there's zoophilia and then there's bestiality. So zoophiles are ones that dream and imagine having sex with animals, and bestiality is when you actually commit to it. A little bit of education for you. They do. So over 70 some odd percent of women are zoophiles and sit around thinking about having sex with animals. I did not expect the number to be that high, but it is. It's higher than the electric bill. It's higher than the tweaker at the gas station asking for your change. It is higher than my mom. It is higher than the taxes. And now, let's move on to our comedy story. Let's wrap this bitch up. Let's finish this. He said it hurts. Make it stop. You switched up profiles really quick. Okay. I said, what? I'm not joking. Rational cleanliness. And I've said this to others, and I'll say it to you specifically. So you make some pretty cool content. It's all very disgusting. Requires bleach with watching. Go to some of those videos of mine, like the one about zoophilia and bestiality. Watch it. I link in the description, and I highly encourage you guys. I've told Dump Dogs. I've told everybody this. Go in the description and use those videos. I just do the newscast, like bam, 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 bam. Here's the stories. I don't cover them in depth or make videos about them. I can't. I'm too dumb. Remember? So you guys go take those. And dude, the bestiality one is full of all kinds of fucked up shit. Okay? So go check them out. Steal the descriptions. We need to do that. Okay? So she's Debbie Dose. God damn it. Everybody, I know I'm not dumb. I'm just really, really stupid at technology. So that's why I do things the way I do. That's why I hold my phone up and show it, because I got this close, you guys. IHD made me a video explaining to me how to do it all, and I couldn't get it. Oh, yeah, I can't even date anymore either, Callie. Actually, thank you, Christ X-Star. It's actually one of our group members. I'm not going to call them out, asshole. Was harassing me today about dating someone as if I need to be in a relationship, and they kept randomly bringing different people up, and I'm all like, no, I'm good. I'm very happy with who I am. Do I come off lonely or weird or something? Because, you could tell me, but apparently. So, yeah, stop doing that. I don't need any help. I'm fine just the way I am, and I'm very strange. So, maybe that's what it is. Chef, I thought the same thing, too. I was like, shut up, Christian. I don't know anything about dogs. You're such a liar. No, I'm not married, Callie. I'm very single. I'm a single mother, and I work really, really hard, and I have my own business, and I do multiple forms of volunteer work, and then I do this 2 days a week, and I've been an activist in multiple... Scorched shirt says, back off, she's mine. That's what I kind of said to her. I said, look, there are a couple people I'm interested in, and they live really far away from me, and so if I was going to do that, then I would let that happen in a nice natural way, not because I need somebody, and she was like, but I think you need love and all this and that, and I was like, I'm pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do not put up with any BS. Asher has got me figured out. You marked your terror. Don't make me stand up and piss all over this computer, because this takes us from a dog hating channel to a piss fetish channel. Oh, he said, oh, I hate you guys. Goes from love to hate. What the fuck is a Tuesday? Rational cleanliness. What? Hallelujah. Gabriel, I love you guys. God damn it. Everything I learned about dogs comes from reliable sources. Pit hags. Okay, so there's a Reddit site for dog-free dating, and it's fucking garbage. Okay. And then actually someone told me they were developing a dog-free dating site. And this was like 2-3 months ago. And I've gone back and checked on it twice to see what his progress was. And he just did not go any further, because I would have loved to have been able to share it with you guys. Because I know there's a lot of people that say, like, I can't date because dog nutters. I can't date because this or that, or I have fat fingers, or, I don't say Tuesday right, or, sorry, or I talk about dicks too much. So let's get into our comedy before I sit here and rant about dick-shaped things all day and just move the fuck on with my life. So, I hit the wrong article. You guys just ignore me. Like I said, I'm like in rare form today and worked really fucking hard this week. Here it is. Okay, let's finish this bitch up. I need a cigarette. My God. I lost 2 subscribers this week over smoking cigarettes, by the way. I was like, come on. I'm not over here judging you. Some of you people live with dogs. I'm not even saying shit about it. Here we go. The day my dog got high on drugs. Oh, God, this is funny. Pete May went with his daughters to a music festival. The idea was to supervise them while allowing them some freedom. He never imagined his dog would be the one to get involved with drugs. God, the people that wrote this articles are dorks. They went for the weekend to this big old music festival. We're going to cut through a little bit of this because I don't want to read the whole fucking article. We figured by going to the festival with the girls, we could supervise them while allowing them some freedom. And we also brought our dog Lightweight. That's not his name, but that's what I'm going to call him. The dog enjoyed sniffing around the crowds and looking for dropped bits of burrito and wasn't fazed by the music that went on until 5 a.m. He also was at ease with the humans. Several other dog owners are there, and hippies were petting him. After a night in the tent, they woke to a hot summer day. They took lunch at one of the stalls until we noticed Lightweight had become unsteady on his feet and couldn't walk straight. At first, we thought it was a sunstroke or some disorientation from the relentless bass from the speakers. But as we tried to give him water and lay him down, we saw that his pupils were dilated. They tried to get him to walk, but he swayed and fell. His right side appeared to be paralyzed. This was serious. It was at this point that it occurred to us that he may have eaten drugs that had been left on the ground. We were camped among numerous hedonists, and this whole article made me laugh. And although we had kept him on a lead, he could have easily found something in the grass. Was it acid, MDMA, speed, ketamine, dope, legal highs, or alcohol? Well, Lightweight laid slumped on the ground, looking close to death, and Lola frantically looked up the effects of drugs and pets on her phone. She eventually decided his symptoms matched those for hallucinogenics. There was no vet on site, no vet at a hippie festival, but after some frenzied calls, we managed to find one nearby. So my wife left with one of the daughters to drive Lightweight to an emergency appointment. At the surgery, the vet gave him an injection to induce vomiting, and then bizarrely, he and his nurse smelled the vomit for clues as to what he had eaten. The vet later confirmed that Lightweight had been poisoned, probably by drugs, and was hypothermic, disoriented, uncoordinated, which sounds like Keith Richards on a bad evening. Dude, I'm the joke maker here, not you. Back off. Lightweight was a sad sight that night, slumped in a cage at the surgery, on a drip to keep his internal organs functioning and surrounded by towels. Oh, God, how could I cope with my daughters if Lightweight died? He wouldn't make it to his 4th birthday. What a stupid death it would be, too. The festival was advertised as being dog-friendly. Duh. Say so. Lightweight, blah, blah, blah. Lightweight had been a good friend to me despite his problems with cats and squirrels. So he's an asshole? Okay. We went to the pub together where Lightweight proved an amiable drinking with the dog. Okay. Brother-in-law arrived and confided that his friend's dog once scavenged LSD in a London park and survived. Okay, I don't know if Orc Wrench is here or anybody else I know that has a little more knowledge on this, but that is bullshit. Okay, we can do a whole video about it one day. So, anyways, he finally stopped swaying, was able to walk, his eyes were back to normal color. The vet's poison hotline suggested it could have been an opiate that Lightweight had swallowed, though no one could be sure. Okay? God. My daughters are now experts on hallucinogens and their effects on pets. We have to explain to the parents of a French exchange student that not all Englishmen take drugs. And Lightweight, though tired, now thinks that squirrels and dogs should just like throw some shapes together and chillax. Wow. These people. The dog is fucking. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Big hug. Oh, I gotta go check out the other live stream. Donna, did I miss the live stream over there on the other channel? You know the channel. Shit, I gotta keep it all. Oh my goodness. This is your brain on dogs. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up for the night. It's live now. Cool. Then I'm gonna go over there. We're wrapping it up now. I've got another live stream to go to. I joined a whole bunch of sober people. That's where Donna is from. And that's where I met her. We're sober buddies. And so I'm going to go over there and join those guys. I love that community over there. Great people. And they like my name too. They're really nice to me. So thank you to the moderators. Okay. To my taco stand. Taco. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rational Cleanliness. Thank you to everybody. So appreciative. Let's see. Fuck Fluffy. And until next time, I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to email me. And from the bottom of my dog-hating heart, I appreciate every single one of you. And have a good, safe weekend. Protect yourself. Get your steel-toe boots, your wasp spray, whatever it is you need. And look out for our children. Protect our elderly. Don't stand back and become a victim. Jump forward and beat the fuck out of these things. Don't let them hurt you or anyone around you. Fuck Fluffy. Much love, y'all. Good night to everybody. And I'm so appreciative of every single one of you. See you on Tuesday. Bye.